I'm making a video for the guy who dropped a comment in my last video about you can check that out, about how to wire radio box for Chuchero systems with the equalizers in the radio and all that in Medusa. He said he wanted to know how to wire up a Chuchero, you know, how to wire a Chuchero. You know, Chucheros come in all different types. Mine is 2 12s, 3 tweeters. There's 2 10s, 3 tweeters. There's 2 12s, 2 tweeters and a driver, 2 10s, 2 tweeters and a driver. However you want. Today we're gonna focus on that, right? So he said he wanted to know how to, and this is gonna help a lot of people, how to wire the Speakon cable to the amp, how to use the Speakon cable, and how to wire Chuchero up, right? So today we're gonna focus on this kind of Chuchero, which is 2 mid basses and 3 tweeters. And everybody knows you always need to link your mid bass separate from your tweeters, because 2 different frequencies, 2 different musical output, better quality when you separate everything. So, and we're gonna learn about Speakon cables. I just drew it out right here, but these are Speakon cables. I try to draw it the best I can on here, but so we got we're gonna wire the mids first. For the most part, all mids come in 8 ohm impedances, single voice coil. So you're gonna have a positive and a negative for each one, right? So this speaker is 8 ohms, this speaker is 8 ohms, right? We're gonna wire these in parallel. Parallel means positive from one to the positive to the next one. Negative from one to the negative to the next one. Right now, this speaker is gonna read 4 ohm impedance. So from 8 ohms a piece, from 8 ohms each, together, they'll wire down to 4. So that means hopefully, if you're just rocking one Chuchero, your amp is gonna support or have compatibility with 4 ohms, right? So then from here, inside of your Chuchero, just pretend this is the inside of the Chuchero. You're gonna run the wire from one positive to the next negative. From one positive to the other positive, from one negative to the other negative. And then what you're gonna do, let me make these bigger so you guys can see it. What you're gonna do once you do that inside the box, you're gonna get the positive connected to one plug on the Speakon cable, get the negative to the next plug. And you'll see they're labeled inside of the Speakon cable, and I'll show you that now. Speakon connector, as you can see there, 1 plus, 1 negative, 2 negative, 2 plus. So let's say you're gonna use 1 as your mids. So you're gonna get 1 plus, you can get the positive from your mids, plug it into here. Your negative from your mids, plug it into 1 negative. That'll be your mid side, right? And on the other side, your negative 2 and your plus 2, that's gonna be your tweeter side, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so for tweeters, these are also gonna be 8 ohm speakers each. So it's gonna be 8 ohm tweeter, 8 ohm tweeter, 8 ohm tweeter. They're all gonna have 1 positive and 1 negative, 1 positive, 1 negative, 1 positive, and 1 negative. And these will also be wired in parallel. This is the way I like to do it. You don't gotta do it this way, but I feel like for a kitipo like this, it's one of the easiest ways to do it. There's more difficult ways, but this is the easiest way you can do it, right? For a single Chuchero setup. Parallel again. We're gonna start from left to right, okay? And this is the Speakon cable. Let's say we already used the left side, for example, right? So let's X those out. So now we have 1 positive, 1 negative left for the tweeters. So we're gonna go positive to positive, and then from this positive to this positive. Same thing for the negatives. From this negative to this negative, from this negative to this negative. So as of right now, these speakers now will read, I'm pretty sure, 2.66 ohms. Yep, 2.66. I mean, you can round up to 3, but, you know, ohms change depending on sound and the air. Well, at least that's what I understand, but whatever. 2.66 ohms is what it'll read like this. So I'm pretty sure you can still play this at 2 ohms with a amp that's compatible at 2 ohms. It'll play for you. So then, now you connected positive to positive to positive, negative to negative to negative. Now you have 1 positive cable and one negative cable coming from your tweeters. So then obviously now you have 2 more pins on your Speakon connector. So let's make this one the positive, boom, and then this one the negative, right? So then now your 4-pin connector is finished, right? You did one positive for your, what's it called? For your mids positive, and your negative cable for your negative mid cable. Now with the tweeter, y'all just saw how to do the negative for the tweeters and the positive for the tweeters. So now that you do this inside the box, right? So you're gonna do, let me try to draw it out over here for y'all. Positive, negative for the mids, positive, negative for the mids. Positive from the mid down here to the positive in the mid up here. Negative from the mid down here to the negative in the mid down here. And then from there, like I showed y'all, go to the, from one of the speakers, you're gonna go straight with some extra wire to the pin, right? Same thing over here. Positive to positive to positive. Negative to negative to negative. Now on this speaker, now you'll have 2 cables coming out of it. One for your positive to the Speakon, one from your negative to the Speakon. That'll be right here, right? So I'm pretty sure y'all understand. So for example, today we did both ones are for your mids, and then the 2s are for your tweeters. So pretty sure y'all understand that. And just imagine this inside of the box, right? 2.66 ohms is what it'll go down to. And that's the simple way that I do it, right? So now to come over here to the Speakon cable. There's also 8-pin, if you guys don't know about it. Same thing as the 4-pin, right? 8-pin people do, you know, connect their mids, and then each one of their tweeters is a single channel. You can do that if you want. You don't have to. But you know, you see it's way more complicated. There's 8 pins in there, so that'd be 4 channels, right? 2, 4, 6, 8. 4 channels. When this is just a 2 channel, but it's fine. We'll learn about this today. We'll get that to another day. But Chuchero. Now we have the Speakon. As y'all know, the end of the Speakon cable, if I can get it out. Fuck. There we go. I'll just pull that out. The end of the Speakon cable has that. As you can see, there's a big side and a skinny side. And that basically plugs into here. You see the same thing? Thick side, skinny side. When you push it in, you lock it into place. And that's how it works. You know? Okay. So, this one's kind of fucked up. Whoa. Pick up another one. Here, I have another one right here. Alright, so when it's all put together, it'll be like this. And that'll plug in. That'll plug into here. Like this. Right? And this will be inside your Chuchero box. Like this. So whenever you don't need it, you take it off, unplug it. Right? And that's how it works. It's not going to come out like this because your Speakon connector is going to be fastened to your box. So this is going to be like that. The only thing that'll be coming in and out, Speakon cable. So let's pretend there's one right here. Oh, there it goes. Pretend there's a Speakon cable right here. I mean connector. Coming with your Speakon, plug it in. Right? Take it off. So let's just hypothetically say it's here. We're going to plug in our Speakon cable, right? On one side of the Speakon cable, you already saw what there is. There is either one of these. The only reason I took this apart so I can show y'all. Inside of this cable, there's 4 conductors that look like this. When you get a Speakon connector, that's not, mine were pre-made, but if you don't get them pre-made, all you gotta do is strip the ends of the wires, and you'll see that there's 4 separate screws that you can stick the wire in and tighten it up, and that will be your conductor for your 4 pins, right? So after you put that back together, it'll look like this. And I'm pretty sure there's videos on YouTube on how to do this, but I'm just showing y'all just cause. It'll look like this, and I already showed y'all how to plug that in. On the other side of this, it will look like this. The 4 conductors will be right out, and this is what goes to your amp, right? So we have the 4 conductors. Remember, we had a positive and a negative for the mid-range, and a positive and a negative for the tweeters. So, basically, from, where's it at? Did I drop it? I think I dropped it. Anyway, from your Speakon connector, we're going to use the 8-pin, whatever. You know, or let's just look at the diagram. From the Speakon connector, this is all inside the box. We're over that. So now the signal is gonna come through here, right? And well, from here to your Speakon cable to inside the Speakon connected to your speakers, right? So let's just start here. So this is the other end of it. So as you see, this is one end, goes down, long cable. This is the other end. So 4 conductors. Let's just make an example. Red and yellow is mids. Blue and green is your tweeters, right? So let's just make an example real quick so y'all follow along. Red is gonna be positive for your mids. Yellow is gonna be negative for your mids, right? And we're gonna do blue as positive for tweeters. Green as positive for tweeters, and blue is negative for tweeters, all right? So what do we have for our mids? We have a 4 ohm final impedance. So this amp is compatible for 4 ohms bridged or 2 ohms for 4 channels. So for our mid-range, this is just an example. This is a Tar 400x4s for like tweeters and stuff, but you can understand how to connect your ohms when you different amps, you know? So boom, we're gonna go positive and then the negative right here, right? And then you can see that's bridged 4 ohms. So this would be for our mids. So our mids will have the best connection they can get with 4 ohms because they're wired down to 4, right? And then we'll get the tweeter side, right? This is our tweeter side. I said negative for this, positive for green. Our tweeters went down to 2.66, which is kind of odd, but what's closer? 2 ohms to 2.66 or 4 ohms to 2.66? I think 2. So what we'll do here, you see how this is one channel? Positive right here, and then we'll put the negative right there as you can see it on channel 3. You see 2 ohms, positive, negative. That'll be your tweeter side. And that'll be it. That's how you connect it to your amp, right? So this is your mids colors right here and your tweets colors. So mids, tweets. The signal the signal of music, the music signal and the power goes through these 4 conductors. Comes through these 4 conductors, through the cable, all the way throughout through here. And then with this, you'll have the 4 pins in there as you can kind of see them. And that'll touch the 4 pins inside of this plug, which will give the signal to the speakers individually, because each pin will give the speaker, the signal for mids and the signal for tweeters. And that's how it works right there. I didn't make too long of a video, but you can back up, ask me any questions in the comments on what I mean by this and that. I'll make other videos on how to connect. My next video will be how to connect a driver box. Same thing. You'll have a 4-pin connector. When you really only need 2 for drivers, but it'll be the same thing over there. Amp thing, it'll be the same thing, but I'll just show people because a lot of people like to see it visually. They can't understand it if I just say it, but you know, yeah, pretty easy. Back again. Positive, positive, negative, negative. That's parallel. That drops down to 4. Positive to positive to positive. Negative to negative to negative. Parallel. That'll be over here. It'll come down to the Speakon connector. That'll be down to 2.66 ohms. Make sure your amps are compatible, right? Let's say you have a Time 3K. If you get like I don't know if I think they make 4 ohm versions. You can get the 4 ohm version. That'll be for your mids. And you can get one of these for your tweets, you know, and just use one of the channels, you know. It doesn't matter what you want to do with the amps, but that's how you wire up a Chuchero, Kitipo, whatever you want to call it, with 2 mids and 3 tweeters. And yeah, any questions, leave them down in the comments. It's a little longer video because the explanation is deep. But yeah, if you have any questions, just put them down in the comments. I'll make sure to respond to you. And yeah, and if any video requests, I can make them for you. I got all my stuff here. Whatever you want to know, how to link batteries, tweeters, drivers. You know, I got drivers over there. Whatever you want to know, I got you. Peace out. Later, guys.